Wow. What an experience, man. So, I just watched the Backrooms movie, A24, directed by Kane Parsons. Kane Pixels. Wait, that's his name, Kane Pixels? I hope that's his name. I really like his projects, and he made the Backrooms popular with the first upload in the series, and it got turned into a movie later on due to the popularity of it. And that movie released May 29th, 2026. I remember when it was first announced, but I do believe he did direct this still, even with like the cinematography, whatever. I believe he still directed it. And when he said like he denied it, he kind of said the older gentleman did it, and not like reveal his name. So it could mean like the younger gentleman like him, but people hated this movie. They hated, but they also hated the Mario Galaxy movie when it came out, and I loved that movie. I loved it better than the first. But speaking of the first one, they also hated the first Mario movie. Why am I talking about these? Because of the hate feedback. It's the same thing as like the Galaxy movie, the first Super Mario movie, and when Load released. Because the Galaxy movie was different, but when the Super Mario one came out, I guess it was different for them to hate, but it was a major success still. I believe this movie will be the exact same thing. Now, spoiler alert, but first, I'm gonna tell you how the mood was, so it might spoil the mood. The mood went from like a bit confusing to like understanding what the place is, and then they start and then in the trailer there was some exploration. Yeah, about that exploration. The mood of it was like pretty like, wasn't too terrifying for me, but it was pretty cinema. It was had that fear factor in there. I love that scene. And then it went from a bit more confusing and a bit more after that, and it got to a point where it was like a pause in the confusingness, but then it went back to it. So a lot of confusion in this movie. But yet again, most of the backroom stuff that he made, a lot of confusion was there, but people solved it for people. I think people have already done it, and if not, they will still do it. They will explain how the movie is. And spoiler alert now. People hated the movie. I still liked it. I really did like this movie. I thought it was good. It's just, the thing I don't like is, yet again, most of the confusion. But also, they had that captain-shaped entity, which there could be an entity where it duplicates something into more of a terrifying version. I don't know if that exists in like the Backrooms fandom or some, but I liked it still. There was a lot of confusion, but yet nowadays horror movies have like confusing climaxes, confusing rising actions, and like conclusions. They're all gonna have that nowadays. This was a bit normal since it was directed by Kane Parsons. It's the Backrooms. It's gonna have a lot of confusion, and the thing about it is that usually in the videos, there's not a lot of furniture that is shown to be no clipped through the Backrooms. There's a lot of furniture in this one. Tons of furniture. Tons of stop signs. And when it got to the home scene, because the Clark guy, the main one in the trailer, who's black. I don't want to be offensive when I say that, but he is black. Clark is his name in the movie. He basically had a therapist, told him about his wife, and I guess that therapist always seemed to blame him, like put him in the wrong, and that Clark got a bit mad, and when it got to that dinner scene, he taped her onto the chair, and what's really confusing is that the people that were dead there, I guess they can turn into furniture. So either this is an alternate reality where in the YouTube kind of version of the Backrooms by Kane Pixels, it could feature the bodies can turn to ink or something like that. There's some furniture, but also more just more lonely hallways and stuff like that, and confusing turns and events. Now, the movie one has the same thing, but a lot of furniture, and if the shape-shifting entity never existed, then a shape-shifting entity just like that makes it more terrifying, with the people turning into furniture instead, where you can eat them. And see, that dinner scene was also really confusing, but really emotional. I can understand the message that the Clark finally has control, finally can be right, but yet comes to a conclusion where he is still wrong, and realizes his mistakes, then dies by the shape-shifting entity. But I did like the movie. I like a lot of things that people hate. I like Load, Super Mario Galaxy movie, this movie, and Forbidden. I like everything that people hate, to be honest. If we in terms of music and movies and stuff like that. And this was no different. I liked my favorite scene was the three and the camera style footage. Somebody did pick up the camera. I think that was that shape-shifting entity that got along with Clark, and that whole dinner scene was understandable. Because he even said, "What are you doing here?" Why would he say, be scared and run away with her? Because Clark knows this entity. And yeah, a lot of confusing turns and events in this one. So it is, for me personally, it's really confusing, but at the same time, really good. It's got a lot of fear factor in it, especially in the VHS scene. But that is my whole take on the Backrooms movie, A24, directed by Kane Pixels. I really like the movie. I'll be picking it up on DVD and watch it again for a rating, because if I do rate it, I'm not really going to do 5 stars. I'm going to do 1 to 2 stars. Basically, if it's 2 stars, then that's the same thing as 5 stars for me. And I will do that once it releases on DVD, because I don't think we're going to see it in theaters. But it'd be really cool if we did. I'd advise people to watch this movie. And people said it was the worst movie of all time, a 0 out of 10. It's mostly because the soundtrack they expected wasn't in there. There wasn't a lot of VHS found footage photography. But at the same time, it's going to be a nowadays movie. They could do VHS photography, but at the same time, I think Kane wanted to go into a different direction, because he already made stuff just like that. But he could add some of that into his movie, because I guess he wanted it to make it his own kind of way instead of the photography. And that's what I really love. He went a different direction, and people hated it. And they say it's 0 out of 10. I don't know about that. I mean, yes, you could say something's bad, but for this movie to be a 0 out of 10, you must be out of your mind, unless you have a different kind of taste, which people do have. But man, that was I liked it. The end was kind of confusing, but yet again, it's kind of like a Smile movie, but better. In terms of like confusion, that's what I mean. Because the Backrooms was always built on confusion, with like strange hallways that were lonely, that were dark, as well as furniture that was no clipping through, being thrown. Like, who threw that, or how did this get here? It's gonna be confusing, and for people to hate it so much just prove that they don't really get the whole meaning of the Backrooms. But yeah, I really like the movie. I'd advise people to watch it if they can, and that's it.